What's going on? Welcome to Delmarva Sports Insider. Coming up in just a bit, it was the annual Blue Gold All-Star Game over at UD today. Some of the top athletes in the state lacing them up for one final time.
That is absolutely right. And how about the Bayside girls? They were getting it on up in Cambridge. All-Star Game highlights for you on the way.
Plus the top dunks, game winners, and the biggest goals of the entire winter sports season. We are counting down the top 10 plays as voted on by the always fair-handed panel of two up here today. But first,
yes,
as you will see, we are joined on desk by two of the guys that the smiles are probably still lighting up your home television right now. The 1A boys basketball state champions, head coach Derek Fuchs, along with the Bayside player of the year, Tyler Nixon. Guys, huge congratulations. What a year.
Thanks,
first
guys.
question has to be,
sign that ring up.
Has it settled in yet? Have you guys gotten to the point of feeling like you are officially the state champions?
Yeah, I mean, there's no turning back now. We got the trophy. We got the trophies to prove it. We are the state 1A champs, and it's just a surreal feeling.
Has to be absolutely surreal feeling. When did you start to feel like this team kind of had the makeup to be a state champion?
This summer. This summer, we worked hard. We started in the spring league, and it just continued. But bad taste was from the region final Joppatown loss last year.
Yep.
And these guys just vowed that they were going to get back to this place and going to try to win it.
Tyler, everyone was looking at this roster and knew that there was a bunch of talent coming back, starting with you obviously leading the way. When did you start to feel like the rest of the team really believed, that they could get over the hump? Because the year before, I mean, you guys had, a first-team all-conference player. You graduated a lot of talent that graduated that year. There were some questions whether this team was still going to be able to get to that point. When did you feel like the players really felt like this was going to be their year?
Well, at the beginning of the season, we just clicked. We clicked early on, and they trusted me, and I let them know, hey, we're going to take this thing all the way.
When did how'd that feel for you? I mean, obviously, you're not exactly, I've never seen you more vocal, I'll put it like that, than this year. Before, you're a pretty quiet leader, and you kind of go about your business and get it done, but this team really looked at you, and I mean, you played an emotional role kind of leading the way. When did you start to feel like, this is kind of going to be my goal, that I need to step up for this team? And kind of, did you feel like your role with the team kind of changed this year versus last year when you had Dejor and Ramirez and some of those other guys?
Yeah, last year, I was a leader, but it wasn't my team, I was a junior, but coming into the season this year, I was a senior, and I knew I had to take over.
Obviously, Tyler, let's talk a little bit about your performance up at College Park. I don't think you shocked yourself or anybody in that town, but you absolutely blew us away. When you look at the stat sheet, what you did up there in those 2 games, absolutely come away, in my mind, with one of the best players up there. What kind of took over you there in that moment right there? Obviously, you won the championship really bad.
Yeah, I didn't want to lose at all. I had to do whatever I had to do to win the game.
Coach, you see anything out of him that gave you that mindset that he was not coming back across here without a trophy?
All week leading up to this, he kept telling me every day, we're going to do this thing, Coach. We're bringing it back. He said, I'm giving you 300%.
Wow.
So he gave me 150 the first day, and he gave me 150 the second day, and I couldn't ask for anything more from this kid.
Coach, for you, I know that had to have been an extremely proud moment. I mean, you look at, like we just said, last year's team. I would argue that last year's team probably had more talent on the pure roster than what this year's team had. But I've never seen a team play harder than what you got out of this team. I've never seen a team come together and really want to do it for each other. And that moment once those final seconds kind of take down, what was that like for you kind of seeing this group, the individual personalities, everyone kind of, putting their own agenda aside just to do kind of better for the team? What was that like for you being able to coach a team like that was led by a guy that kind of embodied that entire thing in Tyler?
I'm getting chills right now just sitting here thinking about it, because this group, I knew they were special, but they bought into the defensive scheme. And night in and night out, teams knew that we were going to put so much pressure on them that it just was going to be, it's just going to be relentless. And that's what we played, that's the way we played all year. So we weren't going to change anything going up to the Xfinity Center. We were going to do what we do, and that's our motto this year. That's what we do, and that was our motto. So we came out and played every night the same way, and we didn't care who we played.
Was it one thing that stood out to me too was we sit there and we talk about guys that kind of really came into their own. And you look at like Tyrone, obviously a great freshman year. Well, he ran into some trouble. You sat him his sophomore year. You look at a guy like Kwame, a guy that didn't get to play until this year. There's a lot of guys that you taught some tough lessons to in order to get to this point.
Paid off.
And I know you look at those guys. You have a guy like Tyree that has a very tough upbringing to get to this opportunity, to get to this moment. I know you really have to look at those guys in particular that were able to kind of understand, getting this opportunity is not going to come that often. And was there like an individual feeling with some of these guys knowing how much they put in order just even to get on the court? And it wasn't like a lot of other programs around here where they're going to basically play their guys until the administration tells them, you can't play them
you got to
anymore.
go, yeah.
Well, this group of guys bought into the whole scheme. Early on with Tyree, he had some struggles because he's used to being that player. He wanted to be that player. But I had to remind him that, hey, you're a sophomore, your time's going to come. But it's going to come this year. Kwame coming in, had to understand that we've already developed something here. You can't come in and disrupt that. You're going to have to figure out what your role is, and you're going to have to play it. And he did that. In the playoffs, he was huge for us.
Yes.
And Tyrone, that kid's just a player.
You ain't lying, man.
The game comes so easy to Tyrone.
It is.
I just told him at the banquet the other night to just stay focused. Just stay focused because the best is yet to come for that kid.
DSI better watch out for him next year because he's going to put up some
can
great
light
numbers.
it up.
And with that in mind, tell me, Tyler, what do you think about the program right now where you're leaving it off to a guy like Tyrone, a guy like Tyree? How do you think the future is for Pocono right now? Graduating a big class, between you, Jarek, like Curtis, Leander, a guy that really stepped up this year.
Yeah.
You guys are.
We can start going down the line of guys.
There was a
and
lot
what
of
they
talent
did this
on this
year.
roster.
All
Where do
those
you
guys
think-
on the screen. I was going to say, Jarek. He had a great performance in the playoffs, a great individual season. As well. We can go down the line of guys that did things for the team.
It was a total team effort.
Yeah. Where do you think the program will be next year? How do you feel about where you're leaving the program right now?
Well, the team is in good hands, you know what I mean? And the guys already started talking about it, how bad they want to relive the moment they lived this year because, they understand the amount of hard work and dedication it took to get there, and they're prepared to do it all again.
Yeah, well, it was certainly a fun ride to be a part of to watch you guys. And I'm not going to complain if we're back at College Park next year. I know you probably won't
I'm
either,
not going
Coach.
to complain either.
So why don't we just go ahead and get back there and just run this thing back one more time.
Hey, let's
Once
do it
again,
again.
Tyler, huge congratulations, man. And going to College Park next year, a better student
Yeah.
than you are a basketball player. And that is something to say for a base
Not a
player
lot
there.
can say that.
Incredible kid, man. It's been a pleasure for the last couple years for me to cover you.
3.8. I just want to throw that out there. 3.8.
Great
All
leader.
academic.
Hey, we ain't have that. I can
Yeah,
tell you that.
combined, we
didn't
might have gotten
that,
close.
right? We
but
didn't have that.
Not individually.
Congratulations, guys.
But yeah, congratulations again,
Thank you,
Coach.
guys.
And like I said, got
Yes,
the
man.
hardware for a reason.
Yep.
Tyler, big reason why you
Thanks,
got there
partner.
as well. Congratulations, guys.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
It's time for our first commercial break, but coming up next, we're going to talk a little bit about the best of the best. Tyler, well, he's going to make a little performance. So the Senior All-Star Game was going on this week. We'll have those highlights coming up next.
I'm Elijah Shields, Laurel Bulldogs basketball, and you're watching the Dumb Armor Sports Insider.